So the dive you're about to see is from 2021, almost 5 years ago now. It's the 26th of December, Boxing Day, whilst most people is still at home, warm, full of Christmas dinner and wrapping the last presents. We're on a boat in the Saronic Gulf on this one, on the surface starting to descend. Roughly 90 meters beneath us is a wreck which had sunk in spring of 1941. It's a British ship, a casualty of the Second World War. Her name is the CLAN CUMMING. So as we continue to descend, you can see I've got a couple of photographs of the CLAN CUMMING. I mean, the drop to a wreck like this is not a quick one. 90 meters is deep, properly deep. So this is a technical dive, and the journey down takes time, planning. Obviously, we're going to, at a point you'll see in a bit, we're going to switch from our travel gas to our bottom gas. You can see the light, which is going as we're going deeper. Nearer the surface, it's much brighter, of course, but it does fade fast. Green turns to blue, and then blue turns to grey, and the color drains away almost completely. So checking the gear as we're going down. Now there was considerable amount of here you see me. I'm making the sign to Stelios to wait at the line so we can we're going to check each other, do the gas switch. So as I was saying before you saw me make the gas switch sign, there's considerable amount of current going down. Actually, at this point, obviously we're doing the switch, so I'm hanging the camera. I've clipped the camera. It's clipped on me. I'm not actually filming at this point. It's whatever you can see the camera filming by itself, so to speak. There's so much current that we were deliberating, as far as I can remember, at this point, if we were going to abort the dive or continue. There was a point until we reached about the, I'd say 60 to 70 meter range, that we were almost pulling on the line to descend. Or it felt like it. There was quite a lot of wreck. You're going to see when we arrive at the wreck shortly, the line is horizontally on the wreck. It's lying on the wreck. So you're going to see it make for an interesting dive. We were diving side mount back in those years. Open circuit, yeah. So no rebreathers. Obviously, this will have an effect on the total bottom time that we can stay. And there's, as you'll see, there's only a short part of the wreck which we managed to see. And we'd love to go back, get back onto that wreck with our rebreathers, because on open circuit, you've got a limited amount of time that you can stay on a wreck of this size. The part that we saw, as you'll see in the video, was the midsection of the ship, and we're heading down. We're almost at the wreck now. You'll start seeing faintly. You can start seeing the dark silhouette of the wreck appearing. Here it is. You can see that's the silhouette of the wreck, and shortly I'm going to switch on my lights. You can see that the line is horizontal to the wreck. Now that was partly due to the strong current. Also, we should have shortened the line much more on the surface. it meant the counterweight, the counterweight wasn't sufficient to keep the line as it should, combined with a strong current. So I've switched the light on, and at some point now I'm going to open the camera arms, and you'll start seeing the wreck in a bit more detail. Here she comes. She lies off Cape Torlos near the island of Aegina, resting on her port side on the seabed. Now her shallowest point is around 74 meters, her deepest down by the propellers close to 95. For decades, actually, nobody knew where she was. And she was, this is also partly because she rests near a very busy shipping lane into Piraeus port. It wasn't until 2012 that a team of Greek technical divers and naval historians finally located her. They dived the wreck and confirmed her identity. So at this point, just a quick side note here, and I don't know why we did this, but you can see the downline. We attempted to go on top of the ship, on top of the side of the ship, but the current was so strong. We just stayed. We stayed on this side, which is where all the interesting stuff is. So, and you'll see in a bit Stelios's light moving because he's securing a reel on the downline. We had our own guideline to make sure we'd get back to the downline for our decompression. Being in such a busy shipping lane, you'll see at the end of the video there's really big vessels passing very close to where we were. You don't want to miss the downline in these waters. So we'll secure our reel, and we'll head on towards the rear of the ship, towards the stern. The CLAN CUMMING was a British cargo steamer, around 141 meters long, more than 7,000 tons, driven by steam turbines turning twin propellers. She was completed in 1938, built at the Greenock dockyard in Scotland on the Clyde, one of the great shipbuilding rivers of the world. She belonged to the CLAN line, which was a famous British shipping company whose vessels carried cargo across the empire from Britain out to India and beyond. When she slid into the water in 1938, she was a merchant ship built for trade, but within a couple of years the world was at war, and ships like the CLAN CUMMING were commissioned straight into the front line. So you will have seen the big cargo areas, and we had a glimpse at the stern. So looking far towards the end, you could see the end of the ship. That's Stelios following me with his light. Yeah, so that's the stern. And at this point, we turn round, and I don't know if you catch it, but there's a huge lobster, which just caught on camera. If you rewind it, you'll see it. And at this point, we head back to meet the downline and continue further towards the bridge. I hang the camera here. I think a bit of the line was caught on the side of one of Stelios' tank, which I just entangled it, and there you go. There's our line, and we caning it down the side of the ship to hopefully reach towards the bridge section. Interesting fact about this ship. In autumn of 1940, out in the North Atlantic, she came across survivors of another merchant ship that had been torpedoed and sank. So the CLAN CUMMING stopped, pulled the men from the sea and carried them safely home to Liverpool. So yeah, she had seen a far deal of action, and in fact only weeks later after this incident, while she sat in Liverpool herself, enemy aircraft bombed the port and she was hit. Actually a man aboard her lost his life. She was repaired and she kept sailing. In January of 1941, she was here in Greek waters, running convoys through the Eastern Mediterranean. On the 15th of April, CLAN CUMMING set out for Alexandria in Egypt. She was sailing empty, no cargo, just trying to escape south to safety, but she never made it out of the Gulf. She made her way out. The captain seems to have realized that the ship was in an area which had been sown with mines. Tried to turn her away from it, but it was too late. Her stern struck a mine, and this time there was no surviving it. She went down quickly. You can see how huge this ship is. You can see Stelios up there. We've actually reached the downline, and we will continue a bit further, gas permitting of course, until we've consumed our thirds, and that's when we'll head back to start to ascend and complete our decompression. You can see there's ropes, there's a bit of fishing line, not as much because as I mentioned before, this is on a busy shipping lane, so not a lot of fish trawling in this area over the past years. It's pretty dark obviously at this depth, about 80 odd meters, about 84 meters. Maximum depth I reached on this dive was 87 meters. This is a nice shot of a fish just chilling effortlessly in the wreck, and again you can see the scale. I mean, 141 meters is a pretty large vessel. Another interesting fact, there's a gun near the bow, and it's still mounted, still pointing upward. We didn't get to see it, of course, in this dive. You will start seeing now the outline of the bridge, so we'll see the behind the bridge area, which is just beyond this shot. You'll be able to see it. Quite a lot of marine life, of course. Lots of sponges. The ship is covered, absolutely covered in sponges. And there she is. There's the bridge section. And at this point, I believe we were signaling to each other, and we make ourselves slowly back to the line. and we'll start making our ascent. So it was 18 minutes, 18:40, checking my logs, bottom time, which is pretty decent. Yeah, I switch off my light here, so we're ready to make the ascent. So 18 minutes, very decent, considering we're on open circuit at this depth. So yeah, this ship needs several dives on a rebreather. As I say, back in 2021, we weren't diving rebreathers. There's Stelios, and there's the you can see in the dark the outline of the wreck. So he'll get his reel off the line, and we'll start the ascent. At this depth, going up is a slow and careful business. Lots of decompression hanging in the blue, which is, I mean, it's great in itself. In terms of total dive time, it was just over 1.5 hours. You can see the wreck is now fading out beneath us. Back into the dark, and it's time to head up towards the surface, towards the light and the surface. There's Stelios, he's getting his reel. He'll clip it, and another great dive. In terms of gases that we used a bottom gas of 1255. We used two travel gases, a 1640 and a 3332 trimix. Obviously we used a 50 nitrox with 10 helium and pure oxygen. I'm not going to go through as to why we chose this gas mix versus another. Those of you who do trimix dives, you understand, and just follow what your agency and what your training dictates. So we saw some interesting jellyfish on our way up. Don't know if you can see it on the video. Thought it was quite interesting, so I whilst I was doing one of my stops, one of my lengthy stops, I pulled out the camera and filmed a minute or so of it. Yeah, on the top you can see the counterweight hanging next to the line. So total dive time 1 hour 37 minutes. Overall an excellent dive. We just got a glimpse of the wreck. I mean, it's a huge wreck and it needs rebreather and scooters and several dives, and even then you probably wouldn't see the whole of it, but an absolutely excellent dive for us. We were chuffed, and we'll make ourselves back onto the into the boat, and you'll see what I mentioned before about it being sitting on a busy shipping lane. In fact, we could hear a couple of tankers passed by, not directly over the wreck, of course. Our boat captain was on top of the stayed near the line and on top of the wreck, so making sure that we were safe. There's a large Blue Star vessel making its way to the islands. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one. Cheers.